The Pebble of 1,000 Portals. Finn was a collector. His pockets were always full of what others called junk. A bottle cap that shone like a silver coin, a feather from a blue jay, a curiously twisted stick. But his most prized find was a pebble. He'd found it on the gravel path by the old, dried-up wishing well. It was perfectly smooth and ordinary, except for one thing. It had a single, tiny hole right through its center. It felt special in his hand, like it was meant for something. That afternoon, bored, Finn sat on his bed, rolling the pebble between his fingers. He held it up to his eye and squinted through the tiny hole, pretending it was a telescope. Foosh. The world outside his window didn't just zoom in. It changed. Through the hole, he didn't see his backyard. He saw a vast, sparkling desert made of glittering white sand under two purple suns. A creature with 6 legs and long, silky ears hopped past the view, stopping to sniff the air before bounding away. Finn yelped and dropped the pebble. His room was normal again. His heart hammered. He picked up the pebble, his hands trembling. Slowly, he brought it to his eye again, pointing it at a different part of his wall. Foosh! This time, he saw a dense, steamy jungle. Giant flowers with petals the size of dinner plates dripped with glowing nectar. A tiny, furry animal with enormous eyes glided from one leaf to another on flaps of skin. "It's a portal," Finn whispered, amazed. A pebble portal. He spent the rest of the day exploring. He pointed the pebble at his bookshelf and saw a library made of ice, where books had crystalline pages. He pointed it at his closet door and saw a cozy burrow where a family of badgers was having a tea party with acorn cups. Each view was a tiny, perfect window into another world. He couldn't step through, but he could watch. He saw amazing, beautiful, and funny things. But as the sun began to set, he pointed the pebble at his floor and gasped. He saw a world that was dark and gloomy. The sky was a sickly green, and the ground was cracked and barren. In the middle of the view, sitting on a rock and looking utterly miserable, was a small, furry creature. It had droopy ears and big, sad eyes that were welling with tears. It looked lonely. Finn's heart ached. All the other worlds were full of life and friends. This one was all alone. He tried pointing the pebble elsewhere, but his mind kept returning to the sad little creature. He had to do something. But what? He couldn't go there. He could only look. An idea sparked. He was a collector after all. He rummaged through his treasure box. He found a shiny red marble, a piece of sea glass smoothed by the ocean, and a few shiny stickers. He gathered them up. Holding the pebble in one hand, he pointed it at the floor again, bringing the gloomy world back into view. With his other hand, he carefully pushed the red marble through the hole in the pebble. In the other world, the marble plinked onto the cracked ground right in front of the creature. The creature jumped. It stared at the bright, red, perfectly round object. It cautiously reached out a paw and touched it. The marble rolled a little. The creature's ears perked up. It nudged the marble again, a spark of curiosity in its eyes. Finn smiled. He pushed the piece of blue sea glass through. The creature looked up, as if wondering where these gifts were coming from. It gathered the marble and the sea glass, holding them close. Then, Finn had his best idea. He found a small piece of paper and a crayon. He drew a simple picture, a smiley face. He carefully rolled it up and pushed it through the pebble's hole. In the gloomy world, the little unrolled the paper. It stared at the smiley face. It didn't know what it was, but the intention behind it, a gesture of friendship, was clear. It looked directly up, right at the spot where Finn was watching, and for the first time, it smiled a small, hopeful smile. And then, something magical happened. A tiny, green shoot pushed its way through the cracked earth right where Finn's gifts had landed. Then, another, and another. A faint yellow light began to break through the sickly green clouds. The world wasn't fixed, not completely, but it was healing. It just needed a little bit of care, a little bit of friendship. Finn realized the Pebble of 1,000 Portals wasn't just for looking. It was for sharing. From that day on, Finn's collection had a new purpose. He didn't just collect things for himself. He collected things to share. A drop button became a prize shield for a tiny night in a world of talking insects. A forgotten candy became a sweet surprise for the badgers having tea. And every day, he checked on his friend in the once gloomy world, which was now getting greener and brighter, all because a boy with a pebble and a pocket full of treasures decided to send a smile through a hole in a stone. He learned that even the smallest connection could be a portal to something wonderful.